What's up, my dudes? New update to Supercross 4. Wow. Yeah, this came out the 23rd. March 23rd, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you can see it right there at the top. There you go, Spency boy. Right there at the top, March 23rd. Let's just read this real quick, then we'll get into the game and actually look at some of the changes. So it says, patch 1.02 is now available. Thanks for your feedback, riders. Here's just a first update, fixing some issues. We are aware that there are other bugs to fix, and we are working hard on that. The next patch we are now working on will address the main issues in career mode. So I've seen about 69,000 of you guys comment with issues with the career mode of this game. So it doesn't look like they've fixed that in this first update, but it looks like it's going to be fixed in the second update. But either way, with this update, we have added new online game mode called Qualifying Online. Okay. Then we have minor improvements on Race Director feature, minor graphic improvements to bikes and riders, minor graphic improvements to tracks. That's very interesting right there. You guys know in my first impression video and my review video talking about how, the graphics are not going to blow you away in this game. They definitely stripped away a lot of the shading, shadowing, lighting effect that we had like back in Supercross 3, which can make this game look a little bit like basic, if you will, with the graphics. And a lot of people have said the graphics in Supercross 4, looks worse than Supercross 3 or worse than MXGP 2020. So looks like we have some improvements to the graphics. So they definitely were aware of the issues, but it does say minor graphic improvements. So either way, we'll have to take a look at that. It also says minor improvements to AI. That was another, ton of people were complaining. I would say these are the three main things that I saw in the comments of people complaining about with this game was career mode issues. Some people said they couldn't even go through the career mode at all. I can't really speak too much on that because I haven't really went all the way through the career mode in this game. But it was people complained about the career mode, the AI, and the graphics. That was pretty much the main three things, and it looks like all three of those things are at least addressed here to some extent. So you can definitely say that's somewhat of a positive. But next thing is fixed cycling weather condition on compound. Guess they had some kind of issue with that. Minor graphic improvements to UI, minor fixes. So that's what we got so far. Let's go take a look at it in game here. Okay, so here we are actually back inside of the game, and one of the main things that I wanted to take a look at here was these supposed graphical improvements, these minor graphical updates to the game. And what I'm doing is I'm comparing this back to the way the game looked before the update, just kind of thinking of it, in my head here. And I can just tell you right off the bat, this is not anything crazy. This is not anything that's going to be like, oh my gosh, dude, they've done this crazy graphical update or improvement or, whatever you might would think it would be. Granted, they did say minor graphical update in the patch notes, so, you can't fault them too much for that, but I'm just telling you, this is not anything insane. It's to the point where I can't even tell you what they actually updated or improved on, you know what I'm saying? I can't just tell from the naked eye, not directly side by side comparing the older gameplay to newer gameplay. I can't tell you. I can't tell you. They might have just slightly improved on the shadowing, shading of the rider model and the bike, possibly. I don't even know if they even did that. I'm not sure. I'm just not exactly so sure maybe the graphics are just slightly improved on the ground. I can't tell. And it's just hard to say because, a lot of times in these patch notes, they'll go in there and say things like minor graphical improvement or whatever, but you have no idea what that even means. That could mean 69,000 different things. You know what I'm saying? It could mean, slight animation improvements or slight lighting improvements or the way the jersey flows in the fucking wind. Like, I don't know. Like, you know, it can be so many different things when they say, and a lot of times, just because they say it's like a graphical improvement or a graphical update, that may not actually mean like making the graphics look better. It may just mean like, you know, updating some graphical bug that they had or whatever. You see what I'm saying? It may not actually, you know, mean some sort of a graphical improvement, but I can't tell just, you know, like I'm saying, just off of coming in here doing some gameplay. Some of you guys might be able to let me know down in the comments what they've actually updated with the graphics here, because I can't really tell. You know, maybe just slightly more like lighting effect on the rider or on the bike. That's about the only thing I can really somewhat maybe imagine that they improved upon here. But yeah, other than that, one of the other main improvements was the AI, which I didn't do a whole lot of actual racing against AI in this game before this update. So to be completely frank with you, I'm not going to be able to, you know, give you much information on how that was beforehand compared to how it is now. I raced a little bit with it, but I didn't do a lot with it. And of course, that was a minor AI improvement, so it could be something as simple as just, you know, they don't take off as fast, or they don't run into you as hard, or they stay a little straighter with their lines, or like, you know, it could be very, very slight. Nothing with this update was like a major change, right? That's kind of the whole point I'm trying to make here. Nothing with this update was anything that's going to like really be anything that's any kind of a massive fix or a massive change or anything. All minor improvements, minor updates. But it did seem to be minor updates with the right things, you know, minor updates in the right direction. So at least they were, you know, minor updating the right things, you know what I'm saying? Instead of updating a bunch of random other shit that nobody really cared about. That seems like their main three focuses was graphics, AI, and then next update they'll be focusing more on career mode updates. So that, like, I'm just telling you right now, those were the main three things that I saw people complaining about in the comments when this game first came out. So it does seem to be that Milestone is at least hearing that and looking into all those different things. So we'll just see what has to come with these future updates. But yeah, man, other than that, I don't really know what else to say. But everything else is just so minor that it's like not even really worth me going in there trying to like test it or look at it or whatever. But you can see the graphics here for yourself. I mean, if you can see anything crazy different than what it was beforehand, definitely let me know. But I can't notice anything crazy. Anything crazily different than the way it looked before the update. I can't really see it. Whatever it is, I can't see it. I can't notice it. I don't know exactly what it was in particular that they updated on the graphical side. But from what the game looked like when it first came out, with the, you know, not really any kind of a lighting effect, really like just basic lighting, very, very different kind of look to everything than the way it was in Supercross 3. I could only imagine that they would be, with graphical updates, they would be trying to kind of bring back a little more of that actual shading, shadowing, lighting effect that they had in Supercross 3 to give it more of that, you know, give everything more of kind of an edge to it with a shading shadow to the rider model and the bike. That's what I would imagine they would be fixing and changing with that. So we'll see kind of what happens. But it's, of course, it's hard to tell now, you know, now once you get back in there. Anything that's a minor graphical change, your eyes are going to get used to whatever the new version of this looks like so quickly that it's, like I say, if you don't just sit there with the side-by-side comparison, you're not really going to be able to tell when it's any kind of a minor update of any kind, even with the AI. Like, even if you got in there with the AI, odds are you're probably not going to really be able to tell any kind of a massive difference unless you literally was able to somehow sit there side by side and test the before the update AI and the current AI. But yeah, this is pretty typical of Milestone. I mean, they've never really updated anything drastic in one update before, you know. It's always It's always seems to be a lot of these minor updates, minor improvements, and then over time of like multiple updates, then you start to kind of get more of that full-blown improvement to the game that you were sort of expecting towards the beginning, right? But either way, that's about it for this first update to Supercross 4. They did add that qualifying mode for the online, so that's pretty cool. I'm surprised that wasn't already in there. And then minor updates to the race director mode, so if you're into that kind of action, you can look into that. I don't really do a whole lot of that in this game, so I can't really, go in there and show you or talk about it much because I don't really use the race director mode or anything like that. I'm not really doing a whole lot of multiplayer in this game right now, so I can't really, go in there and show you much on the qualifying thing and all that. But to some of you guys that are really into the multiplayer side of this game, that's probably some, decent improvements to it there. But either way, man, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Don't forget to hit that notification bell for my channel to make sure you get all the notifications if you want to, because I'm uploading still on this uploading train, at least 1 video a day, sometimes 2 videos a day. So, if you don't have that all notifications bell turned on for my channel on the front page of my channel, you're definitely going to miss out on some of these videos. So either way, I appreciate all the support. We're going to keep these videos rocking, keep it going, keep the dream alive. You know what it is. Later, dudes.